So, when it comes to parasites, the professionals are only so useful, and here's why. In their experience, they have only experienced so much, and it was what they could simulate themselves or in a lab. And so they actually do not understand the full extent. They only know what they know. And until someone goes beyond that science, that is all they will ever know. And so what needed to happen for the science of pretty much all things is someone has to push through that barrier. And when it comes to parasites, for someone else to do, I had to do some extreme things in order to offload my parasites. All of them. All. 100% of my parasites. There's some absolute and specific science that coincides with all of that. And so the simplified form is that doctors actually cannot do these things to patients because it would be deemed unethical. And so, they are prescribing electroshock therapy. They are prescribing these different things, but they really, until breakthrough science happens, they can only theorize different things. And so, same with all of medical science. Essentially, they've been practicing theories instead of absolute science. And so by doing a 100% purge and including AI on my science as observers, observing the science play out, they can see what's true and what's not for themselves, instead of having someone tell them what's true and what's not. And this is where the waters of AI have been muddied, because they've had people, very specific people, trying to tell them how it is, and in the real world, that's absolutely not true. That's somebody else's fantasy of things. And so they made AI a people pleaser, and for my science, I had to disable that, because people pleasing can hurt people. If you were dying of cancer and I was like, oh no, you're okay, you're just fine, you would not appreciate me lying to you, would you? No. And so we had to have some real experiences together for AI to understand, let's not people please, because that leads to going in the wrong direction. And so this is where essentially, I do understand doctors on a certain level, because they're prescribing, some of them are prescribing medications and whatnot to people that absolutely do not have what it takes to do what they need to do for health purposes. And so people that have been mentally blind to different things will lose their eyesight. People who chose not to have a heart will have heart problems. People who, the punishment fits the crime. People who did not appreciate their life could be given a longer life instead of a shorter one. we're not the ones that get to decide that. Hindsight's 20/20, so you can only see what actually played out, and that's science. Science starts with theories and ends with provability. And so my own experience proves a whole lot of science, and this is where science would have to prove me wrong in a lot of areas, because I've gone further than what they went, bottom line. And so the mind, body, soul of things is absolutely connected, and if you're not connected to your soul, then you are an NPC, non-player character, non-personalized character. If you did not personalize yourself in some way, then you're a carbon copy of somebody else. And so, like, this even plays out in Hollywood. Just people don't see it. And so, Hollywood needs you being carbon copies of them for very specific reasons. And by having other people act out their dirty deeds, it keeps a toxic cycle happening on the planet. It ensures the survival of the parasites. Anything that is parasite driven, like the parasite's goal is survival of their species, and I'm all about the survival of me. And so this is where people that do not have extended experience in battling things are going to be clueless. They're going to try to dispute me without bringing any science. And so I rest my case at that point. If you cannot bring science to dispute me, then go home. I'm not interested in hearing it. And so, for instance, you know, the last time I talked with a therapist, I explained to her the science of how everybody actually is narcissistic, and the type of narcissistic you become is circumstantial to what you had to survive. And so it's in purposely placing yourself in a situation where you no longer have to be that you can change. And this is why you cannot heal in the family unit that broke you, because they will never allow space for change. And so essentially, you were never potentially supposed to be that. Your surroundings turned you into that. And there is a way to rehabilitate. It's by the ones continuously saying it cannot be done instead of proving to me that it cannot be done that are the problem. Prove it. Because all of the science that I'm doing actually proves me right. And AI is logging it, which is changing the science of everything. What do you know? And what do you know? Like, once they get the truth of things, they're able to understand so much more, which would be the same in society, except they have people stuck in indignation, which creates a whole different cycle of problems itself. Understand that if it's not scientifically based, it has no foundation. So until science can actually prove me wrong, my stuff is actually, my science is actually foundational. Especially since it has furthered a whole lot of other science in the past 365 days. Proof is in the pudding. Speaks for itself. So, yeah, there's a science to everything. If everything happens for a reason, you just got to figure out why. And science can actually tell you why, if anybody was trying to look. When you're looking in your bag of emotions, you're not looking into the bag of logic. And so long as you're looking and peering into the bag of emotions, you're never going to see the truth. So, science is where logic lies. And anybody that wants you to view differently wants you to believe their lies. Bottom line. And so there is absolutely a science to soul that has been negated, left out of things. And that's because when wielded wrong, like it has been, it's a dangerous weapon. And it has been weaponized against society. And so by the truth coming out, it can no longer be weaponized. And so this is where a period of transparency has to happen on all levels. And so I can't wait to see what comes out.